Hi, everyone. I just wanted to, in this quick video, give you an overview of your Capstone primary source analysis essay. This is what we're going to be spending the last module of class working on. And you'll see that this Capstone essay actually has 4 different scaffolded assignments. So I'm going to briefly walk you through what you're going to be working on. Now, the thing I most want you to understand is that you are being asked to analyze a specific set of primary sources, and that's going to be the focus of your essay, creating a historical argument about the topic you choose based on those specific primary sources. You're not writing a research paper, so you're not going to go out and find additional resources and tell me everything about your topic. We're doing things a little bit differently, and in some senses, it's a much smaller project. A couple of primary sources, one big argument that you can make about them. But because it's a little bit smaller, it can be really challenging to fit everything you want into your essay. So as you go through this scaffolding, you should be honing your arguments and getting ready to submit that final essay. So the first thing we'll look at is this overview page. Your capstone essay is an 800 to 1,000 word primary source analysis, focusing on civic engagement. And you'll see down here that you're being asked to select one of these essay sets or topics: Powhatan in the English, cross-cultural conflicts, colonial religion, Declaration of the Rights of Man and Citizen, Frederick Douglass and Abraham Lincoln, women of the antebellum reform movement, and 19th century schools for the deaf and the blind. Each of these has a link, and what this links you to is our online resource that we're going to use, the Digital Public Library of America. And what you're going to see in each of these topics or source sets is an overview of the topic, and then most importantly for you, the source set. Down here, you'll find a multitude of primary sources that you'll be selecting from. So your very first assignment is to choose your topic. And I'm asking you to do a couple of things. Tell me why you chose your topic. I like to know. And then this might seem silly. I'm asking you to give me the link that I gave you. What that helps is to make sure that you and I are on the same page, quite literally. I would suggest you look at 1 or 2 of the source sets topics before you choose. Make sure that you're interested not just in the topic, but make sure there's some primary sources that you can dig into down here. Now, I will tell you one thing. You're not going elsewhere to look for additional sources, but if you're down here and you want to know more about Dorothea Dix, maybe you want to focus on a specific reformer, you can go up to the search bar, type in Dorothea Dix, and see what other primary sources the Digital Public Library of America might have. Otherwise, everything you need is right on this page. Now, you may find that you want to go back to the textbook to review your subject. You may even end up going to Wikipedia just to make sure you have some basic facts or learning more about, well, what was Dorothea Dix up to? None of that's going to be in your paper, though. That would be for your background understanding before you start the next step, which is the first step of analyzing and annotating your sources. Now, this assignment, the Capstone source annotation, has its own video walkthrough. So I'm going to let you go ahead and walk through that. But basically, you're telling me which primary sources from the source set you're using. And what I'm asking you to do is, after you've read it, made your own notes and annotations, give me the summary. What's important about your primary source, and how does it relate to your topic or relate to other sources? Don't give me the summary that's on the DPLA. I want to know your summary, what you think is most important about each topic. Let me check this over before you move on. You should get feedback very quickly, 1 or 2 days. I'm jumping ahead to grade these. If you don't have feedback within 2 days or a check mark, please message me so I can get you that right away. Once you've got that, maybe you've written a draft, maybe you've started to think about your argument. Your next step will be to take your working argument, your working thesis that maybe you've used in a draft, and honing it. This thesis self-assessment is simply a survey that walks you through the elements of a strong thesis and lets you look at your own. Is it clear, specific, rooted in sources, historical, and arguable? Then you're ready for the last step, the primary source analysis essay itself. All right. Yeah, I've got the sources on every page just so you don't get lost. What I want you to pay attention to here is the essay structure that I've laid out, and pay attention to this. Except for the introduction paragraph and the conclusion, all of your body paragraphs should be dealing with, making an argument about, giving analysis of the primary sources. If you have a body paragraph that doesn't have any primary sources in it, figure out why and fix it. Now, citations, we are practicing. So what I'd like you to choose is the citation style that's most relevant to your major or your future career. MLA or APA is for most of you. Chicago style is what historians use. Almost nobody else does. Unless you're a history pre-major, stay away from Chicago style. And I want you to practice. What I'd like to see is a consistent attempt at using in-text citations. If I see that consistent attempt, I'm going to be happy. I'm not requiring a works cited page, but if you'd like to practice, go ahead and do so. Now, this last step, or maybe the first step, I think I would look at the rubric before I started writing. But if you haven't looked at the rubric before you start writing, at least your last step should be look over the rubric. This is exactly how I'm grading your essay. So make sure that it's strong in each of these categories. Okay, speaking of writing and writing help, I've added some writing resources for you. These PDFs are from the Writing Center, and they're ones that I specifically thought would be most useful for this essay. You can also go to the Writing Center in person or online. They should be familiar with this assignment. Don't call it your final exam, call it a capstone essay, or like they can't help you for some reason, but they should know that I want you to use all the resources available, including the Writing Center. All right. Message me with questions. Best of luck. Remember, your ideas about your primary sources are absolutely good enough. I'm going to be so happy. Even if you're not 100% sure, I'm not sure I understood this source perfectly, correctly. Give me your thoughts on it, your analysis, and you'll be great. All right, good luck.